Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we are continuing on with our heavy-duty Knurling Toolkit build series. Tonight in episode 5 we're going to be looking at the swivel pins. Here on the component identification page we can see the swivel pins called out as number 6. Each arm assembly gets a swivel pin. The pins swivel depending on the diameter of the work and allow the tensioning rod and knob to apply forces to the arm assemblies. Let's have a look at the drawing for the part itself. Okay, in part 2 of our swivel pin build, just to catch up where we're at, we've done all our circular exterior turning, and now we are ready to drill and tap these holes. So it's over to the mill drill. Alright, we have our work on parallels in the vise. Our next operation is to place a 5/16 24 threaded hole right through the middle of our swivel pin. 24 is a fine thread. Or if you're going metric, it's M8 by 1.25. I have my edge finder mounted in the collet, or in the chuck. I'm going to find the X or the Y-axis first. That's towards and away from the operator, the Y-axis. 1000 RPM, here we go. Y0 on my DRO. And so we'll use the Y-half function on the DRO, and we'll move right now to that position. So I just move my table in the Y direction until my DRO reads 0 now. Lock it down. Now we will find the center of our part in the X-axis. Right there, X0. So we'll pop over the other side. X-half. Move my X-axis on the table till the DRO reads 0. right there. Put this away carefully. Beautiful Starrett number 287B. Lovely tool to work with. We'll put our pin in just to get a visual that we are definitely in the center. Sanity check. We're looking good. So we're going to be doing a 5/16 24 thread. We'll start with a center drill. Kind of a must when we're on a round surface like this. We'll stick with that 1000 RPM for now. 1215 is super easy to work with. I'll do a pilot. The top drill size for a 5/16 24 is the letter I drill. Drills come in fractions, letters, and numbers. This is a letter I. L3 is 345 RPM. Use our guided top wrench. So there's the guide for it. Here's the wrench. We're not going to make it in there. Give it some love. chuck down a bit so it doesn't still, the guided part of the wrench is still in the guide. There. Sorry. Let me clean this up and I'll bring you back. Okay, there's our pin threaded. I'll do the other one off camera. Okay, there we have it. I'll do the other one off camera and bring you back. Okay. 2 swivel pins threaded. Okay, drill and tap, done. Our list of operations here says the next thing to do is to create a mandrel. A swivel pin on a mandrel in the lathe chuck, and the top half has been turned flat. I tried doing the flats in the mill here, and because you have to take so much off, we're taking exactly the top half of the pin off. I couldn't hold it in the vise. It just came loose and made a big mess. Got nasty. So we'll go back over to the lathe and create a mandrel. Right, we'll just take a look at the swivel pins in a completed knurling tool here. There's the upper swivel pin. We need that flat surface on there so that the tensioning knob can bear down on the swivel on that end, and we need another little flat on the underside of the swivel pin, or on the interior of the swivel pin, for our spring keeper to ride on. Again, here is a completed swivel pin. The flats have been turned. It's been threaded onto a mandrel and turned on the lathe. This is our stock from the kit for the tensioning rod. The lower swivel gets threaded onto the tensioning rod, and the top of the tensioning rod gets threaded for the tensioning knob. So right now we're going to use it as a mandrel. Long story short, we're going to tap the last 3/8 or half an inch of that rod 5/16 24, thread on our swivel pin and turn those flats. Alright, over to the lathe. Okay, we're going to tap our tensioning rod stock here. I'm going to put a chamfer on the end, a nice heavy chamfer that'll help get our die started. I'm not going to single point, I'm going to use a die. Here goes. We'll try that. GoPro stop recording. GoPro stop recording. Okay, here is my tailstock die holder. This part goes in a drill chuck in the tailstock, and this part holds my 5/16 24 die. Got some set screws around the edge here that hold the die in, and the part that holds the die is able to slide on the part that stays in the tailstock. So as you feed, as you thread, it still stays guided, but is allowed to move. I guess I should have my stock out of the chuck a little more. And you want to tighten up on your collet real good with this operation. Puts a lot of torque on there. Okay, there's our die stock. Okay, we've got the lathe going as slow as we can. We'll turn it on and we will just simply apply pressure on there and hope that the threads start. Okay, they're just barely started. We'll try again. We lost the thread. Gently, gently at first. There, I think we're going to be okay now. Yeah, we got a good start on there now. 1 or 2 threads. We'll give her more love. Couple more by hand, then we will power tap. We don't need very much thread at all. We're going to end up turning it away when we turn the flats on our pins. How much is that? Not enough. I'm just going to flip my lever for the tailstock lock over, and we'll do a bit of a power feed here. Work is spinning in the chuck. Okay, all three pins in the chuck are tightened. Put our crescent wrench back on. and jog. There we go. Just like that. Let's see how much we have. Perfect. Now we can thread on our swivel pins. And start our turning. We'll turn our main flat area first. So we'll exactly split the pin in half. We know that this part of the pin here, we're very careful, it's at, call it 0.5. So when we measure from the flat to the back side of that pin, when we are at 250 thou, we know we're halfway. That's how we'll measure. We'll just go pretty slow and easy. Not slow RPM wise, but slow in our cut depth. We're in no rush. We've started to get into the diameter of this pin now. So we're going to slow down. We're going to start using power feed. I'm going to advance my carriage 10 thousandths. I'm going to lock it there for a sec. I'm going to set my dial indicator to 0. My magnetic back dial indicator. And we'll power feed across this face. Then we'll take a measurement and we'll be able to determine where we're at. Okay. All right, from the flat to the back of the pin. A little bit awkward here, not too bad. 0.427. Yeah, I'm fairly confident with that. 0.427. Okay, if you're with me, there's the center of our pin. We want our flat to stop there. Originally this pin was 0.5 thousandths, 0.5 of an inch, 500 thousandths. I've taken some of the material away, created partial flat here. My carriage is now at 0 on my magnetic back dial indicator. print says 0.250. I just measured with my micrometer 0.4427. Do the math, and we have 0.177. Come on, 0.177. Here goes. Oh man, it's hard to hold on to this caliper here. That shows that we're way off, 0.269. Let me clean things up here a bit. Awkward. $269 again. All right, we got 19 more to come off. I don't know how that happened, but we'll do it. 19. That would bring us to clock clock. 6, 7. So that's 1, 2, 3 in there. 4. So 4 short. There we go. I can take it out now. Get a better measurement. Sorry. Very nice surface finish on there. There's the mandrel in the center. That's what we were looking for. Very sweet. We'll do, there's another flat to go on the bottom of this one. We'll do the big flat on the other pin first. That's pretty nice. Nothing wrong with that. All these edges are razor sharp now, though. We'll have to run a stone or something on those. Get it off, we simply unscrew it, and we'll screw the next one in. Razor sharp, right? Next. Oh. We'll have to go through the measurement process again. We can't trust these threads for positioning this next one in the exact same place. That doesn't want to start there 100%. We messed up our mandrel threads. So same again, we'll rough out till we start to get into the smaller diameter here, and then take some measurements, do a careful pass, take some measurements, then we'll know exactly where we need to be in theory. Watch your eyes. Our mandrel slipped in the chuck. We'll just make super sure that we're good and tight. Oops, sorry. Good and tight. Put her in gear. Okay, I'll do a careful pass now, power feed. a slowish power feed, lock my carriage. I have my magnetic back dial indicator up against the carriage and carefully set to 0. And at the 0 point, I'm going to pull this further out so that there's not so much grief. I'm going to bring my tool after I measure. There we go. 0.326. 0.326. We want to be at 250, so that is a difference of 76 thousandths. We have to go an additional 76 thousandths. I'm going to bring my tool gently but firmly up against the work. I'm going to bring in my magnetic back dial indicator and set it exactly parallel to my carriage and exactly at 0. I am going to gently hog off 60 of our 76 or so, and then we'll do a power feed for the final pass. Okay, our flat is not very big at all on this side, so I nibbled off some of our mandrel there and a bit of the flat. I'm going to use power feed to get a nice finish and set my dial to 0. Lock my carriage, set my dial to 0, make that pass. right now we are sitting at 0.330. .330. We're looking for, got my scratch pad here, HGK swivel pins. The feature that we're working on is the length across these two flats. The print says that that should be 5/16 of an inch, which equals 0.312 inches, or 8.2 millimeters. With my carriage set at 0, we're at 330, so we need to take off 18 thou. Easy peasy. We'll do a pass by hand fed at 10,000. Power feed our last pass. Looking for 0.33312. Yeah, we got stuff. 0.321. .314. Looking for 312. Saying 314. 316. Very good. That will work just fine. We'll take it off and we'll get a seems to be kind of all over the map. I guess we need to clean it up a bit. 314 on that side, 321. I'll have to clean it up now, another look, but that'll be just fine. Okay, so we have our flats milled on our two pins. They're both threaded now. We want to take one of them here and drill it out 5/16 or 8 millimeter. Another good use for our 60-degree tip on our pin here. The y-axis we're still good, we're locked down, but I never had a stop on the work for the x-axis, so I'm just able to use that pin to position our swivel pin. And now we can simply drill it out. There. Now that top pin will slide on our tension rod. Okay guys, we have finished our swivel pins. We created the mandrel, we turned our flats, and we just drilled out the upper swivel. We now have all the components. We can assemble our upper and lower arm assemblies. We can now mill off this extra lobe on our arm plates. We'll do that next time. We'll take a look at assembling these. We'll mill off those extra lobes and we will continue on with our tensioning rod. That's it for now, guys. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Give a comment, give a thumbs up. Go to the store, get yourself a heavy-duty knurling kit. And above all, enjoy your shop time. Thanks for watching. Take care.